on to what we're here for today is an opportunity actually to ask questions and dig in a bit and understand just what is it that makes these schools unique, what are the resources that they've brought to bear, how have they changed their thinking and that of their school communities to create a culture of mathematics and science education. As we were talking about over lunch, one of the things that distresses me more than I can tell you is how often, certainly speaking to parents and the general public, talking to people even at Intel and even talking to teachers around the country, how often, and the occasional congressperson, the comment that, oh, I was never any good at math, or I never liked science. And to have adults say that, every time they say that, I want to say, and so often do, would you say I was never any good at reading? I don't think so. Why would you say this about mathematics? Why would you, without embarrassment, say, this is something I was never any good at? We should all look back on our own childhoods and be either angry or embarrassed if that is in fact true of us. And we certainly shouldn't be saying that aloud in the presence of children whose lives we influence with every time we say that. So some questions then I get the privilege of starting out. And I'd like to ask, I'm going to put you on the spot at Lynn English High School. What is your vision for the role of technology in the hands of students and of teachers? You've done some wonderful things already. Where are you headed with that?
Should I stand up?
I think that's a good idea.
It's a little deceiving when you look at our slideshow. It looks like we have a lot, but we don't. 5 out of 12 of our math classrooms are equipped with a smart board. We have one TI Navigator system that we share within the department, but those of you who have one know that the TI Navigator is kind of hard to just pick up and bring to another classroom. The Sentio response systems are a little bit more easier. We have 2 sets of those, so we have more than 2 teachers use those. We are looking to gain some more technology. It was very exciting today to sit at the tables with all these sponsors offering their products, and it was like Christmas. To know that we're going to bring these products back to our schools and to see the smiles on the students' faces and the teachers' faces, and know that these students will be engaged and they will do well on these state exams that we have.
Thanks very much. Are there any others of you that would like to respond to that question? About your vision for how technology changes the way teachers teach, students learn?
Thanks. Our vision is that we can use, I guess I'll stand up and pick up, is can use technology not just for the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy, but to really create a network across Illinois and really throughout America, beginning, I think, with our 6 institutions here. We're running a pilot program this year thanks to a significant grant from Apple Laboratories. We're literally teaching environmental chemistry lessons with, I think, 8 or 9 different high schools across the state, connection with the Sierra Club, University of Illinois at Champaign, analyzing air and water samples. And I guess I see this as a future technology, just to leverage the kind of teaching and learning we see here and spread it throughout and give more students and teachers opportunities and access to high quality instruction and curriculum.
One of the wonderful things about the modern technology is the ability to communicate. If you'd like to ask a question, I'd love to have you come step up to the microphone, and then that way we can hear what's going on. Please.
Hi. Congratulations, everybody. Great work. I want to step outside my role as a vendor and step into the role as a taxpayer and a father. You guys clearly have some success at this, and I'd like to know, what do you say to your local, state, and federal officials when you get the reaction, well, that technology stuff, that's expensive, and it's toys, and it's never worked before. Let's get the buildings and the books and the unions paid for, and that stuff really doesn't matter. How do you answer at those various levels so that you can justify, clear expenditures to integrate technology into the curriculum, to the everyday activities?
Well, I'm happy to take that on because I'm from Atlanta and we don't have unions, so we're just good to go down where we are. broadcasting a whole generation of children who will be teaching and learning, contributing participants in their community using technology. I would venture to say we have been through that with our elected officials and our school board in our county, which is in the Atlanta area. And when they got their technology and it would go on a bit of a bleep, they suffered without it. And so we say so does instruction. When children become accustomed to gathering information, analyzing data, and then communicating information and findings with not only their colleagues sitting right next to them, but peers across the country and then across the world, that we've created the environment where children are going to work, and we can't afford not to do that.
I like that question because I'm thinking about what we said earlier with the students are already using technology and they're on Facebook all day and they're texting all day. So I think it's just important for the older generation, if they're not very comfortable with technology, to just understand that, and that would be a good way for students to learn if what they're doing outside of school, they can bring some of that into school and in the classroom.
I have to put in a plug here. One of the programs that I used to run and is now part of our larger program is called Untitled, and it's a teacher professional development program that has reached, 6.5 million teachers around the world, and teaches teachers exactly those kinds of skills, because so many teachers, being of an older generation and not necessarily having had their hands on technology, are often embarrassed or slow to get started on that because they don't want it done in front of their kids. And it provides them not only with how do you use this stuff, but how do you change the way that you teach to take advantage of those communications changes, moving the teacher off of the lectern and talking in front of the students to the students taking charge of their own education, and the teacher moving into a role as coach and advisor and guide, which we find these schools to a very large extent are exemplary of that kind of behavior. So there's a little help out there if you're looking